Hello, YouTube. How you doing, my peoples? It's me, Kiriyama Sparta.
And it's me, Sarah.
So happy to be back. Sorry about last week. Someone was sick.
I'm always sick.
She is. She's a cause of many a problem around here.
Chronic sickness.
Person.
That should be my superhero power. Being sick all the time.
What, like mass sympathy for you?
Yes. Yes.
You get none from me.
So I can get presents.
No, you get no presents. Also, last week we didn't have anything to review, and this week...
Shocker!
Nothing really out as far as Before Watchmen or our Batman or Detective Comics or any of that stuff. So
it's been a slow couple weeks.
We're going to do a couple retrospectives, and they're going to be of some of our favorite stories. One of them personally is my favorite comic. I love it.
Story. It's not really comic.
Yeah, okay. My favorite DC one-shot, I guess. Azzarello's Joker. I'm going to be doing that one. And then afterwards...
We'll be attacking Mad Love.
Because someone here likes Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
me!
Just a little bit. Just a little. She's okay.
She's alright. Yeah, I'd like her a lot. So I'm just going to...
You want to kiss her. You want to marry her.
If only. Anyway. So we're going to be starting off with Joker here. And like I said... This might actually be a pretty long one because I absolutely I love this comic.
It's already being talked about as possibly surpassing Killing Joke as the best Joker story of all time.
And I'd agree.
Even though it doesn't have anything to do with the continuity of the character.
No, it's really just a little slice of his life, if anything.
It's just its own story.
It's well done. Well, okay, so here's the cover, and right away, it's awesome.
You know it's going to be dark.
You know it's going to be dark.
Really
Oh yeah, that's another thing. This is one of the darkest comics I've ever read, and I've read some...
Yeah. It's extremely dark and violent.
It is. Written by Brian Azzarello and art by Lee Bermejo. When these guys get together, these are the same team that did Rorschach for the Before Watchmen. These guys...
make magic, beautiful babies.
Yeah, as you know, with our previous comic book reviews, we normally... kind of show you what's going on here. There's going to be a lot of that with this, because almost every single panel of this is just a beautiful piece of art.
You could easily take any one panel from this book and blow it up and put it on your wall.
It's ridiculous. Like, I need to pick up more Bermejo stuff. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but I'm crushing on this book hard. Anyway, so we'll just get right to it then.
One thing that we were discussing earlier was the timing of this one. This came out shortly after Dark Knight hit theaters.
Yeah, so there's apparently, because the Joker in this story is very more, I'd say he's more of a gangster-oriented Joker, like in the sense that, he's kind of jokey, but he's really just more about business and controlling the city.
He's not animated series Joker.
God, no.
He's not making jokes and having fun. He's very serious.
And he has a very clear Glasgow kind of smile here, but in this comic book it looks to the point that he's been smiling so hard that it's actually ripping his skin. It's a very neat effect. I like it. But yeah, it was just a really crazy coincidence. I think so, yeah, that they just happened to be thinking the same thing, and it worked out really, really good.
Yeah.
And my quick review is buy this comic. Don't watch this review. Go buy it, read it, and then watch it, and then you'll appreciate this more. Anyway, the comic starts off, and this comic isn't told from the Joker's perspective, which is a good idea. This is done from your kind of John Doe. His name is Johnny Frost. He's your kind of run-of-the-mill thug.
Yeah, just a hired man.
Kind of brought in for this story. Yeah. So the comic book starts off, he's discussing, Johnny Frost is discussing the city, saying something's starting to kind of feel off, and he's kind of drinking at a bar with one of his pals. Some of his bosses, and they say, somebody's got to go get him. And he kind of hears that, and he's like, who you got to go get? And they're like, well, we got a job for you then.
Yeah.
So they send him out to Arkham Asylum, and he's kind of standing there waiting by the car, and while he's waiting, he sees another car behind them. Lights are on, and he's not really noticing it. And then the gates open up, and we get our first glimpse of the Joker being released from Arkham Asylum.
Which is beautiful.
And yes, once again, oh my God, this artwork is so good. he's leaving, looks crazy, he's walking out. And a lot of people don't notice this too, but Batman actually makes a cameo on the 3rd page here.
Because other than that, he doesn't really show up hardly ever.
Yeah,
just here and then
two
the
parts.
very end.
Yeah, 2 parts he shows up in. There's kind of he's standing on one of the gargoyles, lightning flashes, he's gone.
Yeah.
Like that. Joker turns around and gives the city the finger. And it's beautifully done. Walks out. He's a little confused. The Joker's confused. He's like, "Who are you?" And it's like, "My name's Johnny Frost." And from now on, Joker starts calling him Johnny. Anytime he refers to him, he calls him Johnny. It's pretty cute.
Whenever when he says Johnny Frost, I kept wanting to say Johnny Blaze. I can't help it. Every time, like, okay.
Anywho, so he basically tells me, my job's here. I'm here to pick you up. I'm your drive man. I'll take you wherever you gotta go. Joker's kind of eyeing him up and down. He goes, "You have a gun?" He's like, "Yeah. Do you want it?" He's like, Johnny, I like you." Immediately. And as soon as he's handing him the gun, he notices Joker kind of noticing the other car behind him. He says, "You know who they are?" He's like, "Thugs, certainly. Cops, maybe. You're here to pick me up. Well, they are here to put me down." He already knows as soon as he gets out he's got people wanting him. Opens up his trunk and says, "You got a shovel in there?" He's like, "How'd you know?" He's like, "Wrap it in a blanket and hand it to me." I'm riding shotgun, so he's giving the impression that he's got a shotgun underneath there, kind of scaring off the would-be attackers. Yeah, he's very
smart.
This is very... Oh, I love this comic. Anyway, so they get into the city. The thugs, they keep going north. Once they turn west into Gotham, they're like, "Well, we can't do anything," so they just drive off. They take... Joker makes them drop them off in some kind of random derelict area. Looks like a walk-in freezer, kind of. Knocks on the door. The guy answers, a little eye hole. He's like, "Who's there?" He's like, "Joe." He's like, Joe who?" And then he just sees the Joker grin. And he's like, "Oh,
shit."
Oh, shit. While they're waiting to be let in, Joker gives him back his gun, and he says, "A bit of advice, don't ever apologize to anyone for the way you look." Because you look nervous. "You want to know how I got these scars?" He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. He walks in, and Killer Croc and some of his gang are sitting there kind of having a poker game, and Killer Croc is done much differently in this comic.
I love this version of Killer Croc. Everything about this comic is so much more
realistic,
believable and realistic.
They take a lot of Batman's rogues show up in this, and they're a lot more realistically well done.
Some of them are very different. Some
like
others
here,
are just,
Killer Croc is shown as he's just a large African American man. But he's got that skin condition where it kind of looks like scales, but he's still like
he's just a big
huge. So Joker shows up and he's saying, you want in on a game of cards? Joker's like, "Can't, broke." He wants to help me fix that.
His facial expression when he's pulling out his pockets is so funny.
Womp womp.
It's just such a meh face. I love it.
So Croc immediately gets up, gives him a hug. They're gonna get Joker some money. But before that, they got a party. Joker's out of the asylum, why not?
Yep.
So they head to a pretty good club. It was the one from the beginning where the couple...
It's a strip club, and he actually used to own this one.
He did, yeah.
Joker used to own the
Joker used to own a lot of stuff in Gotham. You find out through this, and that's kind of gone away while he's been in Arkham. One of his... the guy who basically took over the club after he left, was like, "Oh, hey, boss, welcome back," and all that. He gets to talking about, like, where's all my money gone? Yeah. I'm kind of broke. I'm kind of wondering what's been going on since I've been gone. And the whole time they're doing this, they're kind of focusing on a pretty blonde wearing nothing but a jacket.
Leather jacket.
Bow chicka wow
Bow
chicka wow wow. I don't know who that is. I don't know who could that be.
What blonde do we know?
Yeah. So they get to drinking before they get to business, and of course she gets up to walk away, and yeah.
You notice red and black pants.
So that's how Harley Quinn is in this comic.
It's a stripper.
Awesome.
Yeah.
They just went for it. Yeah. They just totally went for it.
It's a good twist. It's kind of, in this scenario, in this setting, it's really believable.
Yeah, it really is.
She's just a stripper working at his club, and hey, she just happens to fall in love with a guy.
With the Joker.
Fall in love.
Yeah. But for all we know, she still could have been the psychiatrist, and now she's doing this. Who knows? She has no line of dialogue in this comic at all.
But she doesn't really
need it, and she gets her point done anyway. So the guy's like, "It's good to see you, boss, but why'd you bring these animals?" And Joker kind of gets a little mad about that. He's like, "Ooh, you said animals. I don't like that." And then Harley gets up on stage, starts stripping.
It's not. It's reverse stripping.
She starts dressing up. She puts on her
on.
hood and everything. Don't worry, you don't see anything, so I can put this up on YouTube. I wish I saw something. Anyway, she kind of starts waving,
doing the finger gesture.
Doing the finger gesture to get the guy Joker's talking to up on stage. And Joker says, "Hey, you got $1 in your pocket," as he slips $1 in his pocket. You should go up there. So we cut back to Johnny. He's just sitting there drinking at the bar. And the bartender kind of looks up and goes, "Oh my God." And through Johnny's drunken haze, we see the gentleman that had been called up on stage stumbling out from behind the curtains. He's been skinned completely.
Except for his
head. Like down here, it's, just nothing but muscle down here. It's, once again, beautiful art. Very dark, but
beautiful.
Beautifully done. And by this point, Harley's fully dressed up in her outfit.
Yes.
I like this too. He kind of passes out on the pole, and Joker smacks his ass with the $1 bill and leaves it stuck on there. So Joker gets up, and because of course everyone's horrified because there's a dead guy up on stage that's been skinned, and Joker just says plainly, like, "I'm very distressed. You know, I lost so much of my stuff while I was gone. Who here wants to help me get that back?" And you know, Johnny's.
I almost freaking said it. I almost said Johnny.
You almost said Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Frost is.
Johnny's like, "I do." Johnny does, and I like this shot too. It's Joker and Harley. I'm covering up Harley.
The knife.
Yeah, she's holding the knife. So I don't even know. Maybe she did the skinning. That'd be kind of neat.
Who knows?
And then we get a quick cut to Two-Face, Harvey Dent, just getting a phone call and going, "No." Obviously, he's finding out the Joker's been released. Then we cut to Johnny. He's still kind of Joker's drive, wheelman. Chauffeur, if you would. He's got Harley and Joker in the back. And one thing Sarah noticed today, too, is Harley's always in a different outfit.
Every time you see her, she's wearing something else.
Every time you see her, yeah, exactly.
Which is nice, because that's something to focus on, because she does not say anything. So it's nice to notice different clothing, because she doesn't really contribute much by dialogue, so it's nice.
It needs to be done. Johnny basically drives Joker to a bank specifically. Joker puts on a pair of shades, gets out, says, "I'll be right back." While he's going into the bank, we get a bit of a flashback about Johnny's life. He's been in prison for like 5 times, and the last time he got out, his ex-wife Shelley is there waiting for him, and he's like, "Hey,
better divorce, kids involved."
Exactly, the whole thing.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, did you change your feelings about me?" She smacks him, just signed the divorce papers. That thing,
Better divorce, kids involved.
And I thought it was kind of sad at the end. He's just like, "If I do sign him, can you give me a ride back into town at least?"
Yeah, it is very pathetic.
So after he kind of gets back from his little flashback, Joker comes out by himself. Everything's calm, quiet. He gets in the car and he's like, "How'd it go?" And Joker says, "Good, not great. The alarm wasn't tripped and nobody died." He looks really sad about it too.
It's a bummer.
And then he tells Johnny to get rid of something, and he hands him a bloodied photo of a child. And it's a picture of the bank president's daughter. So we'll just leave that in the air.
Awkward.
Little bit. Johnny's freaked out and he starts driving him away. And I like this too. Joker, as he's driving away, he's like, "I dig driving people, Johnny. Now drive me." Joker's just so awesome in this comic. So they decide to have a little stop off at it looks like a reservoir. Joker's doing some fishing. And while that's happening, another car pulls up and Penguin gets kicked out of it. He's more Oswald here. I don't think they actually refer to him as Penguin in this comic.
Remember if they do or not. It's clearly the Penguin.
But he gets called Oswald more than that, and he looks like the Penguin.
Just a little
bit. Actually, they kind of reversed it because he's got white and black now.
But, he's just a little.
Just a short, fat guy with a weird nose.
Chunkier in this
Yeah,
one.
he doesn't have like the Tim Burton one finger flipper things.
No.
He's got normal guy, still wearing the monocle and everything.
Yeah.
So Joker basically gets Killer Croc here to threaten Oswald into taking all the money he just got from the bank, and he's like, I want this to be invested, and I want 10 times very soon. Like, do this as fast as you
Yes.
can. This is your #1 priority. Because, you know, I trust you, Oswald. You're the only one for the job. So the whole time Killer Croc's just been like choking out Oswald.
Yes. He
Drops
doesn't really
him.
have much of a choice in this matter.
I like that too, because as soon as he does, he drops Oswald. Oswald runs up to the water and starts throwing up, and Joker very calmly is like, Abner, you're scaring the fish. It's so good. Joker tells Johnny to go back to his apartment and anything he needs, go get, because he's not going back there anymore. He's now one of Joker's henchmen. You're with me all the time.
Yeah.
Johnny gets to his apartment and finds a guy in there kind of rummaging through his shit. And it's a cop. Because he says, I'll drop you where you stand, scumbag, when he pulls his gun. And he goes, you a cop? How'd you know? Because only cops say scumbag. Yeah, really good comic. And then, basically he kind of gives him a warning. He's like, I know who you're running with, and you really shouldn't be doing that. Is the gist of what he says to him. And then he just kind of he threatens to get him in trouble over the gun he's carrying. He's like, I'm just playing, and walks out. Johnny decides, he's like, I took nothing. That's it, starting over.
Yep.
Getting through here. Him and Joker just kind of, they're in the car again. A lot of this is spent with both of them in the car just kind of talking, and it works quite well.
Yes, it does.
And while they're just talking in the car, Joker starts getting on Batman. Well, he never specifically says Batman.
But you know who he's talking about.
But you know who he's talking about. He's looking out the car window and he says, in the dark, he's out there. You know that, Johnny? Right on the other side of the window. And I love this shot of him just grinning on the bottom. And there's a big cross in neon lights saying, sin will find you. I love that shot. Really well done. So he says he's watching me. But anyway, time to get back to work. So they pull up to another establishment that I think Joker used to own as well, this restaurant.
I think so.
They're kind of hazy about it, but I'm pretty sure like a lot of Joker's businesses have been taken over by his colleagues, henchmen, and all that.
Other crime bosses in the city.
Yeah, and they haven't really been making, payments or their respect or anything like that. So he comes in.
There's a really nice homage. I found this as an homage to Killing Joke, because Joker starts eating shrimp.
Right, yeah.
Which is what Red Hood, or whatever his real name was, before he became the Joker in the Killing Joke.
The Killing Joke. There was always, eating shrimp. And it's funny, too, because the way he starts eating it here actually starts grossing out some of the other people sitting around.
Yeah, it is gross.
It is. When he's sitting there eating the shrimp, the guy who's taking over the restaurant, he's like, wine? He's like, I want what's mine back. I love that.
And his facial expression, again, is just priceless.
Like, Joker's still, he's still funny in this, even though this is really, really dark. So, he tells Joker straight up, he's like, look, when you went down things, it wasn't my call, but I took a piece. And Joker even admits, too, he's like, you would have been a fool not to. And he's like, here's your cut. So, everything kind of seems on the table. And, Joker's like, yeah, everything's fine here. I guess you can keep running my restaurant. No real problems. A good job deserves a livable wage. No. And he kind of goes to shake his hand, and his associate does, and Joker just immediately reaches and grabs another shrimp. He's like, man, I love shrimp.
It kind of goes a little too smoothly.
It does. So as they're walking out, Johnny goes, that went pretty good, boss. And Joker kind of goes, Johnny, get back in the car. I forgot to do something. Turns around, goes back in, and just immediately caps that guy. Just empties him. Five bullets right into him. Runs outside. He's screaming at the sky at this point. Like he's crazy. He's crazy. He's just started going crazy. Starts yelling. He's like, not enough for you. Drops out all the empties. He's got one bullet left in the clip. Immediately plays a game of Russian roulette. With himself. Wins. And just starts laughing. And it's such a good shot.
Puts it in his mouth. Pulls it starts howling with laughter.
It does, and I love how all the ha-ha-has in the background. It's so good. So good. And even like Johnny's like just terrified in the car.
I don't know what he was doing.
I don't know what's going on. And then we get a whole bunch of montage clips of Joker's just been taking care of business. There's just policemen finding dead bodies everywhere.
In various different positions.
Areas. There's a guy in a barrel. This one I was kind of creepy, and like a wall grating. There's a guy hung. There's a guy shot in a bathroom stall. Very
laying waste, cleaning town.
Pretty much. Johnny goes to pick up Killer Croc, and he's like, Croc, we gotta go. Joker needs us, and Croc's like, not yet. I'm working, and grabs Johnny by his neck when Johnny starts getting, like, we need to go. And he's like, you don't even get it. I am working. And they never really say it, but it's insinuated here that Killer Croc is eating the people that Joker's been killing. There's a little hint of a skull in the big stew gumbo that he's eating.
The plate of yummy foodstuffs is very intestine-y looking.
Yeah, he's eating people. So they go all meet up, and they go to this boxing ring. I guess this is where Oswald's been working, or is his main business is in this boxing ring. He's in the back looking through papers and everything. And, he's telling them, okay, your money's doing well and all that, but, someone's really not happy about what you've been doing. And Joker, assuming it's Batman, he goes, yeah, I wouldn't imagine he would. And Oswald's like, no, not Batman. Harvey's not really happy about what you're doing. And Joker says, well, I'm not really sure which one is mad at me, because they really play on Two-Face's whole split personalities here. And he says, okay, all right, fine, he might not. I'll just try giving him a call. As he's walking out, Oswald says he won't take your call. And Joker turns around like pissed. He's like, what was that?
Bitch, please.
Exactly. And then Oswald's immediately like, I don't think he will. And Joker says, well, one probably won't, but I might just get lucky with the other one. So, tries giving me a call. No answer. We get a shot of just Harvey sitting there, just the Harvey side of his face. He's actually kind of chuckling to himself, not picking up the phone. Joker puts the phone down. He's kind of like, well, no, that's not normal. I hope Harvey's all right. Kind of worried. And then Joker just immediately loses his goddamn mind again. Starts breaking the phone, starts screaming at it, picks up a pool cue, just starts beating the crap out of the phone and bottles and everything on the bar. Anything nearby. And even Killer Croc's like, what the hell are you doing, Joker? And Joker's like, isn't anyone listening to what I have to say? Like, he's off his rocker. One of Killer Croc's little goons is like, we should go, is an episode. And Joker here says, she's like, no, don't go, we'll have a drink, come on. And then just bottles him.
Right across the head,
shoves the broken bottle into his face. Murdered. That's it.
Yeah.
He's really not happy. And then he sets the bar on fire and blows it up. The strip club bar. Half thing. Just blows it up. Because, he's Joker. He can. And once again, a beautifully done shot of him just walking away from this
burning wreckage.
And then we get kind of the only real shot of Joker being kind of soft in this comic. Because I guess they took Johnny back to his and Harley's place, and Johnny's just kind of looking around at the aquariums and everything.
With piranhas, another nice nod to earlier Joker and Harley stories.
Mad love. And he kind of gets a glimpse inside the bedroom as he's walking by, and
the door is open. It's ajar.
It's ajar. There's a bit of a crack, but Joker's just kind of holding on to Harley, crying there.
Yep, and she looks like she doesn't know what to do.
Exactly. She's just kind of got her glass of wine and
a cigarette.
There's I'm assuming it has to do with all the pills and the blow on the table next to him. But
has a cocaine and tables in there.
But it's really sweet, Harley. She's there for Mr. J.
Yeah.
Johnny's out just having a bit of food at the Broken Egg, just your normal cafe during the day. And that cop from before comes and he's like, he's done eating, you need to come with me right now.
Yeah.
So Johnny gets taken to see Harvey Dent. So this cop's been working for Dent. And Harvey basically just tells him, if you're going to work for him, you're going to die.
He's going to kill you.
It's going to end with him standing over your body with your blood on his hands, and I promise you, he will laugh. Not because your life means nothing to him, but because death for him is the punchline. Really well done.
Mm-hmm.
I love this.
And Harvey's bad side of his face looks awesome in this one too.
It does.
Looks very muscly and
yeah,
sinewy.
Not quite the Dark Knight, but
not the burnt face or just the half
acid. Weird color. It looks more legitimate, like everything. And he says he doesn't remember. Well, Johnny doesn't really remember leaving Harvey Dent's office, but he just kind of goes and stares over the city for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of contemplating, like, oh, should I really be with the Joker? I don't know. He's kind of a weird guy.
Yeah.
He goes to shows up late for a meeting that Joker's having in a random warehouse. Joker says, "You're late." Johnny's like, "Is that a problem?" Joker just immediately just kicks him right in the balls.
Yes, it's a problem.
He says, Johnny, I don't have any problems." And while they're waiting here, a couple cars pull out, and we get Edward Nygma,
Riddler.
the Riddler, and this is how he is done in Brian Azzarello's comic. And I love it. He's done very hipster, gangster. He's got a limp.
Which explains why he's always carrying around that Riddler cane.
Which it's a nice touch.
It's a nice way to explain it.
So we never really find out what Edward stole here, but basically he stole something for the Joker.
Yeah.
The only reason being is they said no one could steal it. It was impossible to steal. And Edward just goes, "So I stole it."
Yep.
That's exactly how it works.
We do see Harley Quinn, again, briefly in here, and again, her outfit's changed. I really like this outfit.
Yeah, she's just kind of doing the whole, she's got a submachine gun, corset, leather, knife. I like it. They kind of exchange pleasantries, gives him what he stole. And it's like, let's do this again. Joker says, "Edward, if I were you, I'd get out of town." And, immediately cuts back to Edward, and he's obviously going to tell Joker another Riddler. It's like, "Joker, if I were you," and he cuts him off right there, and he says, and then it cuts to Joker talking. He says, "The safest place to hide is insanity." And this shot is well done. Like, Joker just scaring the living crap out of the Riddler.
Yeah. Poor Eddie.
Joker's just scaring everybody in this comic.
He's a scary dude.
He's a very scary dude. So, that went off without a hitch. They're driving out. Harley's popping Joker some pills.
That's what she's there for.
That's what she's there for. And then they immediately get attacked. A couple SUVs pull up, hit them with the submachine guns. Car crashes. Joker gets out on foot, starts shooting at them, kind of takes off. Joker runs out of ammo, and he's actually kind of worried. Like, it's kind of more realistic in this. Is like he's worried that he'll die, as opposed to like normal
really
continuity Joker, where he's like, it's a big joke.
Yeah.
Obviously, this was attacked by Harvey Dent because the policeman working for him shows up, and he's about to shoot Joker in the head. Like, he's got him point blank.
Mm-hmm.
You can even see Joker, like, you hear a bang, and Joker's still standing there, and it turns out Johnny got behind Joker and shot the cop in the head. Right in the head.
Right, explosion face.
And then he just kind of passes out in Joker's arms.
Which is adorable.
It is adorable, and it's funny, like, Joker's smiling, but it's not in the kind of, like, "Oh, my savior" kind of way. He's just kind of like,
yeah.
Thanks, I guess. Whatever. Dent goes out to pick up the morning paper, gets a bit of blood dripping on him, and looks up, and the cop is hung from his tree. Bullet hole there, and Joker's carved a smile into his face.
Yeah.
It's a really nice shot.
Creepy. But nice.
But nice, exactly. And at this point, Joker just starts fucking all of Harvey's stuff up. Anything Harvey has a part of, he's attacking.
Yeah.
He's just blowing up.
He's pissed off.
Everything. And it's nice, too. During this whole time, while everyone else is working for the Joker, apparently the Joker's just been sitting in a chair popping pills. That's all he's been doing for 5 days. And then it eventually gets to the point where Harvey calls the Joker, and they decide to have a meeting, face-to-face, as Joker puts it. They decide to meet up at Gotham Zoo, and, they kind of meet up, half all of Harvey's gang on the one side and all the Joker's crew on the other side, and they're kind of in the baboon monkey exhibit. There's gorillas, there's baboons, there's all kinds of stuff. So Harvey's basically like, we need to just come to terms here, okay? I'm sorry about everything. We just need to,
shake hands apart.
And then Joker says, why don't you try begging? And then Harvey kind of chuckles, and Joker says, that wasn't meant to be funny. Like, just...
It's creepy. And he's got a weird grimace when they zoom in on his
like
face.
he's not smiling.
It's a grimace.
They actually made his smile, like, just... He's pissed. And Harvey tells Joker, he's like, oh, well, your little boy Johnny there, we've already met before. And Joker's actually kind of like, oh, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
And then Harvey kind of points out, and Johnny's wife. They got Johnny's wife hostage there. Yeah. Shelley. And Joker's even like, you didn't tell me you were married. But then neither did you, Harvey. And then kind of gets in Harvey's... Kind of has two wives because he has two personalities.
Makes sense, I guess.
Makes sense, yeah. And it's funny, even the darker half of Harvey says, I've got a man on this phone that can erase everything the other one has. Like, as soon if I ever do that. So while he's kind of, showing off, I can just call and erase that whole half of my life whenever I want to. Yeah. Joker's taking off his glove at this point, and he just goes, naughty, naughty, and just kind of swipes at his hand. And Harvey's like, what? Looks, and he's got a whole bunch of cuts on his wrists. And Joker's basically glued like a bunch of glass and sharp stuff to his fingers, and he's just clawed out his wrist. All of Harvey's men immediately take aim, and they're all shot because we pull to the side, and there's an ape with a Tommy gun. But it's Harley. Harley, da 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 da. Shoots them all in the head. Joker walks up. He's like, you really need to beg. Grabs Two-Face, throws his head right in front of a baboon cage, and it's funny too because this baboon comes up and like is clearly going to bite him. Joker immediately just claws it in the face. He's like, hands off the merchandise.
Oh, monkey.
So Joker kind of pulls Harvey by the hair and whispers something into his ear, and Harvey's just freaked right out by it. You don't see what it is. It's tiny little scribbles, but
it's up to the imagination.
He's really upset.
And at this point, already seeing what you've seen, leaving that tiny bit to the reader's imagination, you can only imagine what he said to him.
So as they're walking away, Joker's like, Johnny, go get your lady, because she's still alive. She's the only one who didn't get shot, her and Harvey. And they go to a pier, and Joker raped her. Yep. Yeah.
Well, it's punishment for Johnny because
Johnny didn't tell him. Yeah, Johnny lied. She's still alive. She's crying in there, and he even tells Croc, he's like, Croc, drive her wherever she needs to go and give her some money. And he's like, how much? He says, whatever it was worth.
It's horrible.
It's really horrible.
Not a nice guy.
Joker even looks at Johnny, he's like, that makes us even now, right? So we cut to Joker in a liquor store with Johnny, and he's killed the cash register. The cashier, sorry. Yeah, and he probably broke that too. They're opening up and stealing it.
It is broken. So
it's true. He's like, I'm in the mood for some brown liquor, because you know what, Johnny? Now you're with me. And it's just Joker going apeshit.
Even more apeshit.
Now this scene is really well done, and it's creepy as hell. I love it. Mm-hmm. Joker's kind of picking into a random apartment. And even Johnny's like, what are we doing? And then Joker turns around and is like, I said, shut up. Don't make any noise. They walk into a room, and there's just an elderly couple. They're just sitting there in bed.
Yeah.
They're like, who are you people? And even Johnny's like, who are these people? Joker says, and I love this line, who cares? And then we cut to the aftermath, and Joker's sitting on a big bloodied bed.
Very bloody bed.
Murdered them with a razor blade.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of sitting there on the bed, kind of...
Just relaxing.
Relaxing, I think. This is probably his vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And talks to him, he's like, you know what I hate, Johnny? And Johnny says, everything. And then Joker goes, my. Is it you've learned a lot, or you're smarter than you look? And he's like, and by that I'm not saying that you're right. But you are close, though, I'll give you that. And he says, why do you hate yourself? And Johnny's kind of like, I can't really answer that. And Joker says, don't kid a kidder. Johnny apologizes, and Joker, of course, says, didn't I tell you never to apologize? just don't do that. He says, yeah. Joker says, then don't. And Johnny's like, you don't get it, Joker. I am sorry. And Joker says, I can't think of a worse way to die, and I know all of the bad ways inside and out. My friend, Johnny, what I hate more than everything is apologies. And then they're kind of looking out, and it looks like the bat signal is the bat signal, but it's clearly kind of been painted onto a random spotlight.
Yeah. It's not the
It's
bat
not
signal,
the one,
it's
but someone's made a bat signal. Yes. And Batman shows up. This is the
the first time
you get a full shot of Batman, and it's so well done. He's in the light of it, right at the bottom there, and it's Harvey. Harvey's made this, and Harvey's freaked right out. Basically tells Batman, like, you have to stop him because he's crazy, and he told me he's going to murder one of us, not you. He's worried because he knows that he thinks that Joker can either kill Harvey or Two-Face.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, it's a legitimate threat to Harvey.
Yeah.
That's this whole... Sorry, a snake just fell over.
Yeah, the snake just fell.
Johnny and Joker are driving around the city, and we cut to Harley. She's just kind of in her room. She's got a cigarette. She's got some candles lit. She's drinking some wine.
Just having girl time.
And if you look out the window, it's a very nice contrast. Her whole room is very red. Everything is red. But you look outside, it's yellow and black, and there's a whole bunch of bats flying at it. And then we get a POV shot of Batman just busting in the window, and I'm assuming just taking Harley out. And the look on her face is kind of priceless. Like, oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Joker and Johnny arrive at the apartment. Joker looks up and sees that the window's been broken, and grabs a bottle of booze, and he's like, Johnny, get back in the car. And we need to go check something out. They head off to where Killer Croc and his crew were inside that big industrial freezer. And Johnny even says, Joker pushed the door open, but he didn't want to. And then I got it. And you cut inside, and Killer Croc and all his crew are strung up. Clearly Batman's doing his thing.
Yep.
They hear a noise, they look up in the alley, and there's a whole bunch of bats flying. Joker immediately lights the bottle of booze on fire.
Molotov
cocktail. Just starts burning everything. And I love this shot too. Joker just starts screaming at the sky, this belongs to me. The whole city there. So as they're running, I'm thinking by this point Johnny's just snapped because he starts laughing. He starts laughing while running with the Joker.
Which Joker doesn't really like.
Joker immediately turns around and just backhands him. Knocks Johnny down on the ground. Joker says, you disgust me. You have no charm at all. Obviousness, dumb, dull, disappointing, obvious. Shame on you. And he's got a gun to his head. Before he pulls the trigger, Batarang comes, cracks him in the head, and Joker's just bleeding all over. And then he kind of grabs Johnny by the neck and puts the gun to his head. And this is when Batman shows up. And once again, another nicely done shot. And Joker actually has a really nice line of dialogue here with Batman. And it's the only one you get in the comic, and it's so well done. Joker says, you wear your shame like a badge because you don't have the balls to actually pin one on. And he's like, just look at you. Desperate to be feared, you want to be perceived as a monster draped in black, and yet you leave that little window, he's talking about his mouthpiece there, a glimpse at the perfection underneath, obvious, the chiseled good looks, not the jaw, the mouth of a monster. Why do you let it be seen? And Batman simply says, to mock you.
And this shot of Batman is so well done.
So good.
Oh, it's so awesome.
Joker immediately shoots Johnny about here.
In the chin.
In the chin, so he's still alive at this point, bleeding all over the place. And Joker and Batman just kind of get into a skirmish while he's kind of stumbling. They're on the bridge at this point. Yeah. And it kind of ends with Johnny saying, you know, my name is Johnny Frost, but I don't have to tell you that, do I? You know I'm somebody. I'm on the top of the world looking down. You know what I see? Do you want to know what I see? I see you, a disease. One that has been around longer than Gotham, the city infected. There will always be a Joker, because there's no cure for him. No cure at all. And we get a nice other shot of Joker and Batman fighting. I like Joker in the
With
dark with just the
the blood pouring on his face.
He says, because there's no cure for him, no cure at all. Just a Batman. And then Johnny falls off the bridge.
Yeah.
And that's the end.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Sorry, that went a lot longer than I thought it would, but
it's a good story.
It's a damn good story.
Mm-hmm.
That's Brian Azzarello's Joker. I love that
He clearly
comic.
has a giant crush for this comic.
So bad. I tell you, after watching The Dark Knight and then getting to read that, I was like...
It was a good Joker.
It was a Joker, yeah.
Good Joker winter.
It was a good... Oh, yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
So good. So, yeah, pick it up, read it. You know, even if you're not too big into reading comics, hell, you could buy it as an art book.
Just look at the pictures.
Just the art is fantastic.
And it constantly switches between painting style and just regular, like, what's the word on the digital coloring?
Digital coloring.
It switches between digital coloring and painting, and you could tell, but it doesn't bother you.
But at the same time, it still doesn't.
It doesn't bother you.
It's still
beautiful.
so well done.
Yeah.
I love that comic.
Don't hit it.
I hit this.
Oh, just the shelf.
I never hit this comic. It's rude. Anyway, if you stuck out with us this long, thank you. You're a trooper, and you really love your Joker.
Yes.
So, once again, I'm Kiriyama Sparta.
I'm Sarah.
If you had a great time here, please hit that subscribe, thumbs up. You know, leave us a comment. If you've read the Joker, tell us how you felt about it. I mean, obviously this is my favorite comic. I would love to discuss this with some people.
Tell him how much it sucks, so then he can get into a giant debate in the fight.
See, now they're going to do that now because you're a bitch.
It'd be funny to see.
Anyway, next up we got Mad Love. Well, we'll get to Mad Love.
Eventually.
This took a bit longer. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.